What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm finally getting around to installing the stainless steel brake lines for my Evo 10. So to do that, I'm going to need the stainless steel brake lines themselves, a power bleeder because I'm working by myself and I don't want to have to call someone over just to pump the brakes for me. I'll show you guys what I mean later on. You're going to also need DOT3 or DOT4 brake line fluid, a syringe to pull out all of the brake fluid that's inside the reservoir, drill bits to drill out a hole in a water bottle for the excess and the old braking fluid, and you're going to need tubing to pull out the brake fluid from the brakes themselves. On top of that, I actually bought a different kind of set of wrenches. They have an extra side to them, so they kind of look like this. And the reason I bought this is because I wanted to be safe and I didn't want to break any of the bolts that are inside of the brake system. So now I'll open up these two boxes and then show you guys what's inside. So included inside of the stainless steel brake lines is these two sets, one for the front and one for the rear. And they come with different bolts and nuts, but you're going to have to reuse some of the old hardware. Now for the power bleeder. Comes with some tubing and a pump itself. Before I go outside, I'm going to drill a hole inside the water bottle so that I can use it as a reservoir to collect the old brake fluid. The tubing that I got has an outside diameter of 3/8 inches and a diameter of 1/4 inch on the inside. So I'm going to take one smaller than the outside diameter, which is going to be 5/16, drill it on the cap of the water bottle. Now I'm going to test this in and see if it fits. Alright, so when you do this, you want it to be a very snug fit so that it's airtight. And on top of that, you're probably going to want to drill a very small hole inside the cap as well as an air vent. So this is perfect, and I'm going to cut off maybe about 2.5 feet worth of this tubing. A small hole on the side. I'm gonna dry this out completely and then remove all the dust and debris that might have gotten in. So now I'm gonna take everything outside and I'll show you guys what to do from there. Gotta break the lug nuts on the wheels first. Whoa. So whenever I'm lifting up the car, I always lift it up by the frame, and that's right here. So the jack stands are right on the frames right now, and since I'm lifting up the whole car, I'm going to be using the jack itself as a backup. Always have backup measures whenever you're lifting really heavy things because you always want to be on the safe side. I'm gonna start off with the front and I'll show you guys what angle I'm gonna put you guys at. So I'm gonna put the camera right there and point it this way just so you guys don't get confused at what angle I'm showing you guys at. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take off this bolt, and then I'm gonna take off this sensor, and then I'm going to be coming on to this right here and I'm bolting this, and then I'm gonna take off this little thing right here. This probably take it off with a flathead, pull it out like that. Then for this portion right here, I don't have to take off anything because it's going to come off anyways. So I'll probably be taking off this bolt right here. And then to finish it off, I'll probably be taking off this bolt right here, then putting in the stainless steel lines. There is actually a bolt right in the back, so it's connected to this little thing as well, or it's the same part as this, so it's right behind right here. Alright, from the back. This one is a 14 millimeter. And be careful of the brake fluid because it is corrosive and you don't want it to get on painted surfaces because it will strip the paint. Alright, there it goes. Alright, so wipe that off as soon as you can. And this piece is off. Now that I have uninstalled the stock brake line, this is all the hardware that came out of it. And the new stainless steel brake line set is this one. If you guys are trying to buy this is the exact number that I'm using for my front stainless steel brake lines. So I'll probably be using these to put back the bracket, but these I'll probably be throwing away because it's included inside the little bag right here. This is also a part that I definitely need to keep, and I'm gonna have to take out another one right here. Alright, so this is the bracket that I'm going to be reusing for my stainless steel brake lines. The way to do this is stick this portion, the one with the little circle on the end, through the hole right here that looks like this. So put it like that, goes through, and then it should go in place like this, and this is where you're going to put this little joint piece right here. And then this, so this portion, you're able to move it back and forth. You're gonna have to do it so that it goes in place like this. The last thing you gotta do for this bracket before you install onto the car is use this little joint thing and put it in. All right, we're back. So it's supposed to make it so that the loop end of the stainless steel brake line is on this side of the bracket. So like that. I'm going to put this behind and put it in like that. So this little hole right here goes into a bolt in the back. All right, and that's in. Okay, so now don't forget to put back the sensor. It goes on the bottom one. There. This one also goes on top. This was for the bracket for the stock, but it's not there anymore, so I'm just gonna leave this bolt in place right here. Okay, so this was plugged in earlier. I'm going to be unplugging it. I'm gonna be using 2 of the brass spacers that were included with the kit. And for this, I'm going to put it on each end, put the bolt through, and then tighten it to the brakes. Alright, so that is now in place and you should be done with the stainless steel brake install. So I'm going to do the other side, and then after I do all 4 sides, I'm going to do a brake bleeding so that I have brand new fluid in all 4. Alright, so now we're on the other side, and I'm going to start off with this bolt right here that's connected to the actual brake itself. This is a 14 millimeter. I ended up wearing gloves because my hands got all pruny, and I mean, if it's corrosive, I might as well put gloves on. Again, I'm gonna plug up that hole right here. Now back to these right here. So actually, I'm just gonna take off the bolt in the back. It's right here. You guys can see that right there, twisting. All right. Alright, and the whole thing is off. Since I don't need to use that portion, I'm just gonna put that back on. Now the new stainless steel brake lines goes in like this, match it up like that. So there are 2 indents inside this metal portion, the bracket. I'm not sure if you guys could see that, but this little bolt, it fits in perfectly, so it holds in like that. So after you fit it in correct like this, you put in this little holding bracket like that. Alright, I'm gonna use a little hammer. Alright, and it's in place. Alright, so I'm gonna end up putting it like this and then put the bolt through there. Alright, so now I'm going to install it now that it's all fully set up. This one goes back here. Alright, and I got it right this time. The loop is in the back. Line this up to a little bolt in the back. So what I'm talking about is this little hole right here. Right there. There's two bolts right here. It's actually the top one that you put the hole in. Right there. And then the sensor. Right there. Now that that's done, I'm going to be installing this to the brake. So remember, the copper braiding or the copper spacer goes in first, then like that, and then another copper spacer, and then it goes into the brake. Now for the last portion, I'm going to connect the stainless steel brake line right here. Now that we're on the final portion, I'm going to put this in first, and then I'm going to put that connecting bracket inside. Alright, now that the stainless steel brake lines are done, this is how it should look like. Starting from right here, goes down, loops up, connects to right here, and then it loops around back here. So right there, this is one line, loops up to here, into there, then straight into the brakes. So the front end is done, and now I'm going to start doing the rear. I'll show you guys how to do that as well, so let's go. Now we're in the rear, and the rears are a little bit different, but has the same basic steps. So I'm going to be taking out this portion right here, take out this with a 10 most likely, then it goes back here. It's actually connected back here, so I'm going to take out this bolt, and then this should come off. After that, I just have to take off this one bolt right here, and that should be the full length of the stainless steel brake lines. Take off this clip. Alright, that's actually a lot simpler. See, that part's taken out, and then fully loosen that portion. I'm going to clean off this portion because this is pretty dirty. Alright, so what I ran into while doing this, there's actual sensor right here as well, and it connects to the bracket right there. It goes in like that, and then it connects to the side like that. So be careful if you guys are doing that, and make sure to reconnect it before connecting everything together. Now I'm going to do the last portion and take off that bolt right there. The stock braking lines only consists of one part in the rears. This is a lot simpler than fronts. So let's get to doing this, and then I'll show you the finished product because it's nearly impossible to get the right camera angle. Before I do start on it though, this is the part number for the rears, and this is what I'm going to be using to replace the stock and OEM brake lines. This is how it looks after it's fully installed. This portion is the new stainless steel brake line. It connects to right there, goes up, and there's a bolt right here that connects this line and the stainless steel. Goes around, then connects to right there to the actual brake. So this little divot right here, it's a space where the stainless steel brake lines can go through, or any other brake lines. So this is how it looks, and for the next side I'll try to show you guys how it looks doing the whole process. This is the other side, and I'll try to show you guys the whole process this time around. So loosen this bolt. Camera flew a little bit, but we got this bolt loose. Okay, that's loose, and now I'm going to take out this pin. So it is doable with a screwdriver or flathead, but using a wrench is a lot easier. This is the interior portion, and there's actually a bolt. There's a bolt right here, and there's a bolt right here. I'll try to edit it so that you guys could see that. Okay, once you take this bolt out, you can take out the whole assembly, and it's actually connected, so you have to pull it apart like that. So This is what it looks like. And these two little prongs, they hook into the actual portion right here. So it hooks into there, and then you're able to bolt it up. So now that this part is done, this is the actual brake line, and then I'll take you to the other side where I take out the bolt from the brake. The final part is actually located right here, and this is the rear brakes. Here is the brake line. So I'm going to do the same thing in reverse with the stainless steel brake lines. So for all 4 of the brake lines, I've been putting the copper washer in between here and then one right here before putting it into the brakes. Fish that through, then put it into the brakes. Okay, so for the middle portion, this part of the stainless steel brake line, you put it through the sensor. So like that. Then you bolt it to its place. So what I find is a little bit easier is I take the bolt, stick it through like that first, and then I put it into its place. Don't forget to put in this little joint piece. And now we're completely finished with the install of stainless steel brakes. Alright guys, I just finished installing the stainless steel brake lines for the front and the rears, and I think I'm gonna have to cut this into a 2-part video because this video seems like it's gonna be pretty long. So I'm gonna cut it here, and for the next video I'm gonna show you guys how to use a Motiv brake bleeder, and I'm gonna do it on my full car. So don't forget to give me a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.